What's good, y'all? It's your boy j.king, man. It's Upgrage Your Game podcast, and I got a special guest in the building, my guy, Mr. PF Brand, a.k.a. Troy Goodwin. What's good with you, brother?
Anyway, what's up, Brody?
Chilling, man. Yo, it's good that I got you on here because let me give a little background on how we met. So, a couple years ago, me and you met through a good friend, High Def.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to High Def. And you invited me to a poetry/birthday event you had back in 2019.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you was a poet at that time. Yeah. I didn't know nothing. I was just like, all right, I'm coming to this birthday, John. It was a nice event downtown, nice dress up. And you was like, you just started spitting poetry and you was killing it. And I was just like, oh, that's dope. You the only poet I know. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was dope that we was able to link up and do everything that we could do. So tell the people more about yourself and how you got started in the poetry.
Yeah, man. One, thanks for having me on this, John.
It was tough.
We met in 2019, man. It just seemed like I knew you a little longer than that.
Yeah.
The chemistry, the relationship, man. Every time we link up, it's always good vibes, man.
Facts.
Thanks for having me on this, John. It was well overdue, bro. But just
Appreciate
a little bit about me, man. You know, from West Philly. I've been living in West Philly since I was about 2-3 years old. You know what I mean? And I ain't nothing different than nobody else, bro. That got bars or that might want to write poetry. I just use it as an outlet of some stuff that I be going through sometimes. And that's how poetry really started. I literally remember, dog, I was on punishment, and I forget the poem that let me see. I can't even remember the poem that I wrote about me being on punishment, dog, but that's how it started.
Dope.
I wrote a poem about me being on punishment. I said it to my man, and he was like, yo, that was hot, right? And then, like, right after that, a friend of mine, a real close friend of mine, had passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. And I wrote something for her. So I'm going around. I'm telling all my close homies now, you know what I'm saying, everybody that knew her and all like that. And they're like, yo, that's hot. And I just kept doing it, bro. Like, no matter what I went through, if I was able to express it or if I wasn't, but it was just something that, you know, I always did.
That's dope.
Since I was like, I would have to say like 12, 13. Yeah.
That's what's up. Cause when you did the poet, when I went to the thing back in 2019, I was just like, the poetry that you was doing was like, you could tell it's very, very personal. Yeah. So you could tell it's like the things that you was going through at that time. It was just like, you know, it's just very, very personal and things of what you was going through in your life. And it was just very good. And being that you the only poet I know, it was just dope to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Had somebody that, cause you know, I came from rap. So hearing poetry and stuff like that, you know, we do it on a beat. You just doing it free to the people. You was very, like, I still got the footage, you know what I'm saying? And you was just very conviction, like, you had very conviction in what you was doing, so that was very, very dope.
Ripping paper into pieces without leaving any pieces behind. I'm becoming a mass murderer. My finished move is my signature, so now I must sign. After I poured out my heart, letting my tears bleed from my eyes, allowing my heart to pump and my fingertips to sway against this paper until there's no fingertips. 3 hours later. I'm killing this. I'm going so hand we both are bleeding. Your ink bleed on the pad, my pride bleeding for the things I never said. And to be honest, that line disturbed me a bit. Because everything I mentioned is worth more than a mention in the Twitter tag that you get to what I just mentioned. And because you birthed me, I can take words. Yeah, I think that's one of the one of my, I would have to say, secrets on poetry, because it's just like you said, you can feel it without me making you or trying to make you feel what I'm saying. It's like, yo, this is true. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't speak about nothing I ain't never did or been through or anything I didn't experience. It might be some, like, you know, that everybody can agree with. You know what I mean? But I actually been through that, though. I actually lived through it. I actually experienced it. Yeah, and I'm expressing it in this form. So, yeah, man, I think that's one of my greatest gifts right there. Just really having that type of delivery.
Yeah, and you could really command the room. Like, literally, when you had the birthday thing back in January, you really could command the room, the way you walk around the room, say your poetry. Yeah. And being that it's very personal, it's very words that you could really, really feel. And so going back to how you was commanding the room and everything with your poetry, what is the meaning behind your poetry?
I'd be lying if I say I didn't learn my lesson.
Lesson is to never treat myself anything less than my worth. My lesson learned. So I think poetry, the meaning behind my poetry is really just my life experiences. What, I mean, it's going to sound so cliche. You might get tired of hearing me say it, but it's really shit that I've been through, bro, that I really just speak about in my poetry. It's crazy how we could pick ourselves apart to be perfect, but we forget how to put ourselves back together so it's perfect, even worth it. Sometimes, bro, I'm not even going to say we. I'm really just going to speak on me.
Fair.
You know, sometimes I get so wrapped up in being perfect, bro. I get wrapped up in trying to, you know, make sure everything is, you know, going the right way, or everything is going to, you know, line up the way I told people I envisioned.
I'm the same way, so I already know how it go.
I got a like a real big imagination. So I may holler at you, yo, what you working on or whatever. And I can give you a whole rundown of what I'm working on.
Facts, right.
In my mind, that's how it's really going to go. So, you know, I have to, in my mind, I got to make sure it go that way, because the way I just broke it down to whoever I was talking to about what I was going to do. So my imagination for everything is super duper like broad. I may like over exaggerate some shit when I really want to have an event. Like I might be like, yo, you know, we all say the same, yo, this joint gonna be lit, because yo, in our minds, you'll be thinking like this how it's really supposed to be.
Yeah,
so when I'm doing my poetry and I'm expressing it in the form that I'm expressing it, you might even see me do like a little angry face or like some hand motion, some little That's because I'm really feeling it. So you know what I mean, it's
not like it's animated, but it's kind of, you really getting into it.
No, it's real shit though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So
I don't know. What was your question?
No, you had it. It was about just the meaning and how the meaning of the poetry is. Yeah. So how do you feel since we went to the thing in 2019? How do you feel how your poetry has changed from then to now?
Yo, that's an awesome question, because now the dynamic of my poetry is focused on self. Back then my poetry, I mean, even okay, so it's two different. So it's okay. So back then my poetry was so focused on self too, because it was stuff that I was experiencing as well, right? But it's like two levels of this, and there's gonna be way more levels when you are constantly growing. So this was
definitely
my poetry back then was, I would say, level one. You know what I mean? Where we was more so talking about the adolescence of my life and how, you know, I grew up living in, I ain't gonna say I grew up living in an abandoned building, but I occupied an abandoned building for almost 2 years.
Oh, that's great.
With some of my siblings, you know what I'm saying? So just not having a father around, you know what I'm saying, not having the best of gear and shit like that, and, you know, really having to go through with, you know, being teased and bullied and whatnot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Just cracking through the social anxiety type genre. That's what the poetry back then was about. Was just like trying to figure out how to be me. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
With all the stuff that I've been through from, let's just say, from 6 to 16, 17.
Basically, from like an adolescent until
and then now, the poetry again is still focused on self, but it's the growth. It's really understanding. You know, you gotta let some things go in order to grow.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Being comfortable with, you know, telling certain stories or certain things. You know, understanding how, not just loving on myself or, you know, doing things for myself, how I can, you know, grow and love other people.
Yeah.
The same way I want to be loved. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of growth.
Sometimes we be asking for people to do things that we don't even do for ourselves.
That is facts. So I've been there plenty of times. So
that's what the poetry is more so focused on now. Is just like, you know, the growth. Like I'm getting older, man. So just the growth.
Same here, bro.
Of this whole new level. That's all. But it's good. It's good work though.
Definitely is, and that's the reason why I asked you how it changed from then to now, because when you had the birthday thing back in January, I could tell like that poetry was more pain. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a lot of trials, tribulations. You had one where you was talking about how you woke up, but you was feeling kind of shitty. You know what I'm saying? Like you was like it was just more like more pain and more. into the things that you was going through now as a grown man, and that's what kind of caught me. And so the good thing that you do poetry and you had those type of feelings and things of that nature, do you feel like the poetry for you is more of an outlet for the things that you're going through?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I wouldn't use poetry for no other reason than an outlet, though.
Facts.
For real. I mean, and honestly, I don't know another way to use poetry other than what I've been using it for. But it's crazy that poetry is my outlet, but it's also crazy how poetry opened up other avenues for me as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I never truly seen myself as a performer. Like, I never thought that I'd be, putting on my own shows or being asked to perform at somebody else's show. Bro, when I literally started doing poetry, I was going to open mics, bro, just like, all right, yo, this is a vibe. Like, when I came in, I was like, yo, this is a vibe. So when I back then when I was going to Poetry Jones, I just wanted to be around the people, bro. I wanted to be around the same people that enjoy doing what I enjoy doing. You know what I'm saying? And,
definitely.
And, just seeing other people get up there and performing, it was like, all right, well, better. Listen, I could do this too. I mean, I can get up there and I could perform. And not only can I perform, but ain't nobody judging nobody here. Ain't nobody, like, they all doing the same thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody
you can get it off better.
So it's like, you go, you learn, and I just start, doing my own thing from there. I just kept going with it.
So you say you started from the open mics. What's the ones, like, what kind of performances did you ever do?
Yo, what's crazy? Facebook got a way of reminding you of your memories and whatnot.
Yeah, the memories, yeah.
Yo, I had a joint came up, like a flyer came up from like 2014. I'm like, yo, I don't even remember doing this show.
For real?
Yo, for real. But
time flies.
But yeah, though, man, I've done so many shows, man, for just people in the city. I mean, outside the city. I was with this group called Conglomerate. We went to Atlanta, LA. Our next trip was supposed to be overseas, but we're gonna come back and do the overseas trip.
That'll be dope. Definitely be dope.
Heart Spoken, Mixed Chemistry. Yeah, man, I did a AMF. It's been a lot of shows, bro. I could run some joints down to you.
Go ahead.
It's a lot, though, bro.
It's a lot.
You figure I've been doing poetry. I had my own Poetically Free open mic joint back in 2011, 2012.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know what that back.
Yeah. So, that was 2012. And I literally started doing poetry probably like, when I say start doing poetry, I mean like really going out to open mics probably like 2008. So.
Damn. It's a minute. I ain't even know when to stretch that
list is crazy, though, as far as like the other shows that I've done. Like, you know what I'm saying? I should have brought my portfolio. I got all them Jones in there. That's what I should have did. We would have been here all night.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't even know you went far back from 20. You said 2008?
Yeah, 2008. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. But no, that's dope.
Yeah, I done a couple joints for other people, but the main ones that I worked on myself, I did name a few of those, which was Mixed Chemistry and Heart Spoken. Oh yeah, Mixed Chemistry. Yo, we had Mixed Chemistry popping, bro. Our first actual, that's probably was like our third actual show. I did it with my man Daryl and two other people, but my guy Daryl, I still in contact with to this day. He's my graphic designer. But yo, we had, you ever heard of Voltage?
Yeah.
We had Vultures packed
performed
out,
there a couple times. Yeah.
Listen, we had Vultures packed out upstairs and downstairs, bro. That was a good joint. Jade, Miss Jade, came through spitting bars.
That's dope.
It was lit, bro.
That's dope.
That was
Vultures
awesome,
used to pop too. Yeah.
And it's a nice little setup too.
Yeah.
Open joint,
balcony up. Yeah.
Listen, that was a good joint, and we would have kept that joint rolling. And actually, we might even come back with Mixed Chemistry though, for real. So,
sound dope.
They could probably be on the lookout for that. I did Heart Spoken. Heart Spoken was it was a fun joint we did. We had some real great talent. The one thing I like about Heart Spoken was that one thing Heart Spoken taught me was that to scout the talent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They would host weekly meetings, lunch, dinners, and then have the performers perform, like, you know what I'm saying, just all the performers come together. So that was dope, and that's one thing I learned with working on that production. I gotta go ahead and shout out my team, Conglomerate. Big shout out to Anthony McGill, man. This guy, he got a collective amount of people from Philadelphia, just all over. I ain't even gonna say just from Philly, but just all over, just with different talents. I forget exactly how I met Ant, but he was like, "Yo, we putting together this tour." He was like, "And I want you to rock with us as the head poet." He was like,
still wanted the headline the joint. That's what's up.
He was like, any poets come on this joint, I'm coming to you first. He was like, I want you to come on tour with us. Like I said, our first stop was in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? That experience was crazy because Atlanta probably was probably one of the first times I actually traveled outside the state.
Oh, for real?
With like,
that's good.
With being free, like, you know what I'm saying, like being able to go out to the clubs and all like that. So they showed us mad love in Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta dope.
Yeah, and I think that's probably like almost the last thing I worked on as far as like with a collective amount of people. But since then, bro, I've been doing poetry and chat. We did poetry and chat 1. We just did 2. We about to do 3 this spring with some real dope female poets. And we're going to be taking poetry and chat all over, bro. Like the plans that I got, what I want to do for poetry and chat, it's going to be crazy. And it's going to be something that no other poet ever did. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I really want to say about that. But we did the Underground Showcase 1, 2, and 3.
Where was that at?
Underground Showcase. We had it. I don't know. The ambiance. What was the ambiance loft? Don't quote me on that. But it's my man Leem studio. That joint was popping. I got footage of that too. I'm gonna show you.
Definitely show me that. I didn't even see that.
The Underground Showcase, when I first came back, cause I took like a year off. I wasn't doing no shows or no nothing. I was really just working, writing, and figuring out what I wanted to do with my poetry. You know what I'm saying? So I took a year off, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just have a showcase. Put the showcase together. That joint popped. That was back in April last year, and then right after that, we had another Underground Showcase. I think you was a part of all them joints, wasn't you? 1, 2, and 3 probably, right? Yeah, so it was some dope talent with them. And then yeah, man, so we just gonna keep rocking. I don't know what's to come next, but the poetry and chat really the vibe right now.
Okay.
I like the fact that I'm bringing something new to the poetry experience for everybody. I never been to an event. I never been to any shows. I never been to no podcasts. I never been to no events to where as though it's poetry and chat. And when I say that, I mean like really getting a chance to know the artist. You know what I'm saying? Poets, they can get up there, they can do their piece. You might hear them, and some of that stuff might sound good. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff may be relatable, but at the end of it all, I want people to know who they are as an artist. You know what I'm saying?
That's definitely dope.
You said, your poetry sound different back then than what it sound now, and that's what I want people to hear. Like I want people to know.
Yeah, you definitely want to hear them.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like the only way we can actually do that is if we talk about it. I could perform a piece and that was hot, that was dope, but what's behind that, John? And that's the poetry and chat, and it gives the artist, it gives the audience a chance to really have an experience and not just, it was some poets there. No, they might not remember your name, but the bull got up there with the story. He said, boom. He had the poem to go with.
Something to remember.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So poetry and chat, man, is really just that, where we just do poetry and we talk about it.
And the good thing, and it's good that you brought that up, because how you made it interactive, because when you had the birthday poetry thing back in January, you were very interactive with you would, say your piece, and then you would ask the people, hey, how do you feel about this? Mm-hmm. How, what did you think I meant when I said this? So that's very dope that you do that, because it gives engagement to the crowd. They're actually listening to what you're saying and really feeling what you're saying and understand it. So that's dope that you do that. So that's a good, concept that you came up with.
Yeah. So what's crazy? Because I could say a piece and it'll be a dope line in that genre, right? But by the time I get done, you probably forget the dope line that I said.
That's
true.
You know what
I'm saying? And then if I do that, if I do another piece, right, it'll be hot. You might hear something hot, but you forget it. And I do another piece. That's 3 pieces, right? And although they all might have been nice, but I want to know what did you get out of it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And another thing I learned too is by doing pieces back to back, and somebody truly not understanding, what you're talking about or the reason why you even wrote that poem, they would lose attention very, very quickly.
Yeah.
I've seen it on, like, when you said, like, what was the word you used earlier? You said something when I do my poetry. I forget, but it's a very demanding tactic that I use because I know how easy people can drift off and just forget that it's a whole performer.
Yeah.
And they
I think I said engagement, but
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, though. So, you know, just by doing those pieces and then talking about it, it does let me know, yo, you know, I still got them. I'm still rocking with the crowd. The crowd's still rocking with me. So yeah, it's a good job.
Yeah, so and that's dope that you have other people and they do the exact same thing. So it makes it more of a collective thing that you're doing. So that's a dope concept. So when you did it that day, I was just like, it's good that you're doing that. You're getting the crowd into it.
You really stuck with this January 2019 performance, man.
No. I'm talking about the one you did last month. This year.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
that joint was a good joint. That was something completely different. That was a little bit out of my element, but what it did for me though, it really allowed me to just even outside of that night, it really allowed me to take things head on. Definitely, it really allowed me to be like, you know what, I did that already. I gotta do this next thing, and there's no fear of you know what somebody going to say, or if somebody going to like it, or you know if it even is, you know, the next best thing for me. But we won't know unless it just happens. So that particular performance really enlightened so many other things in me. Yeah,
that was good. And the dope thing is you also had you also brought out, what was it, your teacher? What was the I think it was the
shout out to Doc, man. I just got done having lunch with her over on sophomore college.
That's what's up.
Before I came here. So shout out to Doc, man. And yo, she was my teacher, right? She was my drama teacher. That was a fun little course. But what happened with Doc was we were supposed to be doing some kind of project or something. I forgot what it was, but whatever the project was, I submitted a poem. It was called Deadbeat Dad. I forgot how that joint start off. My dad didn't do for me. I know it was only So I submitted that poem, and Doc was like, "Yo, this joint crazy." Yo, I promise you not. She plastered my joint probably bigger than this Biggie picture right here. And
that's dope.
Put it on her front door of her classroom. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna say that's when I felt I'm all right. No, that's when I felt as if, like, you know what, somebody believe in what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? That's at that moment I was like, you know what, she has to believe in it because she plastered.
Yeah, she put it up so everybody could see.
You know what I mean? And then from there, for real, you know, my name was on the bottom of the joint, and you know, from there, that's when the really poetry thing started in high school. When people, oh, you do poetry? I know you do poetry.
All right.
You
Get your name out. Yeah.
So me and my guy Corey Green, we used to get together and spit out poetry and whatnot. We wound up actually talking to Miss Davis, which was our guidance counselor at the high school, and we popped off a poetry extravaganza.
Oh, so you was doing it back then. That's what's up.
Yeah. I had my first poetry contest in high school and whatnot. I came in second place. I was mad late. As soon as I came through the door, they threw me right on stage. It was crazy. I'm out of breath. You know what I'm saying? Got this book bag on me. Right. And I went to Dobbins High School, so, you know, as soon as you come in, auditorium right there. But I'm backstage with it, so as soon as I come in, backstage door right there.
Right there, yeah.
They're like, come on, you going on now? And I'm like, what? So I get in that joint. I'm out of breath. But me being out of breath, it honestly went with the poem. I just felt like me being out of breath took away from it as well. Because I could have put an act on as if I was out of breath, but being as though I was really out of breath. It was
natural.
Yeah, it took away from it. So I came in second place. And then from there, man, we just kept going, man. I went to the African American Center, and I was just doing poetry. I met that boy Dave, real hot, talented poet. And I just kept doing shows after that, man. I forgot, man. I just be going, bro.
No, you good. No.
Getting wrapped up.
No, you all good. I wanted to get into your history because, you know, a lot of people, they don't maybe not know how a poet started, how,
Yeah.
you know, being that you went from school to then you wanted to do it, then you're doing showcases, then so it's a journey. So I just wanted to see, like, it's good that you're giving it up because you saying your journey, you saying your history, you saying how your teacher got you into it.
Yeah.
So that's why
that's what we was talking about. So yeah, my bad.
no, it's good. No, and that's what I was trying to say. Like, I got this is a men's mental health podcast. So I always want to know about people's outlets. Like, you know, my outlet was rap. So when I was doing raps, I was writing raps to get, you know, the shit that I was going through in my life. I wanted to get it out in rap, get it out in songs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If I was dissing somebody, if I made a hot ass song and I diss somebody in it, it is what it is. I got it out. So it's good that you having poetry as an outlet for the things that you're going through. That's great. And so how do you feel like it's an outlet for you now compared to back then?
Just the difference in the art now. I don't think nothing really truly much changed except the experiences. But everything else is the same though. It's just always a good creative outlet for me. And you know, certain pieces are heavier than other pieces.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I actually a different thing I would say that I do now was I kind of like make more of a good feeling about it than I did before. Like I say an old poem real quick. You would look at me and wonder if I was cut deep. You would look at me and wonder if I had bad dreams when I sleep. You would look at me and see a broken glass and I was the missing piece. Like, if you thinking of, like, you hear that poem, you're not thinking of nothing good, right?
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm thinking what I'm putting on this paper, it makes me feel good, right? So now I would say it's more of a good feeling. Like, now I would say something like, good morning. Time to wake up. I've been smelt the coffee. No eggs, scrambled, well done. Look at the mess I done started. It's pancake mix all over the place. This is my life. It's exhausting, right? So if you take those two poems and you hear the difference in the energy, you know what I'm saying? If you said what was different, the difference is the energy in the poetry now.
Are you saying like the way you say it, or is it more like the way you say it and deliver it, or is just?
Yeah, I think now was a little bit more upbeat.
Okay.
Back then I would say my poetry was a little bit more timid, a little more shy, a little bit more trying to be private. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then now it's just like it's just raw now. It's just like you know what I'm saying? It's just like it's just raw now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm older. Ain't nothing to hide. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep talking about my experiences the way that I do best. So, yeah, it's just a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more freely, a little bit more outspoken, a little bit more at peace with stuff.
Oh, that's definitely good. If it's you saying it's something that brings you to at peace, and that's one of the main things. Okay.
I'd be lying if I say I wasn't hurt, because I'm hurt. The pain come from me giving them my all when I knew it wouldn't work. Right. So yeah, it's a good upbeat, but I'd be lying if I say I wasn't hurt.
And I'm glad that you touched on that, because, like I said, for this podcast, getting your emotions out as a man is hard. Yeah. So basically, you having that outlet and to say these type of things where it can come out, where you not, like you said, you got nothing to hide, you can bring it out. That's very key, and that's why I was stating about you having it out as an outlet, because with a lot of men, we don't have like that type of outlet. Usually if it is, it could be something destructive, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Violence, drinking, any type of drugs or whatever. But it's good that you have something healthy to say these type of things and to get it out and not, be ashamed of it, you know what I'm saying? And just, get it out to the world.
Yeah. Real quick though, and some of those outlets, they not healthy. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm going to be 100 with you. Like, I'm a victim to all of those outlets. You know what I'm saying? Poetry is just the better outlet for me.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But my bad, what you about to...
It's good that you said that those type of outlets were unhealthy and that you did go through those, but you chose the route of poetry. Now, what do you think, as just being a man growing up, from the things that you went through as an adolescent to as a grown man now, what do you think are the causes and effects of what, having bad mental health means, and the things that you're going through and the struggles of how you can get through them?
Dang, yo, that's a good question, yo, for real. One thing I would say is this. This time is priceless. I went from being hubby to being wifeless. From thinking I have control of my anger to understanding this is a mental crisis. From not wanting to fight to becoming Tyson. From never wanting to bear a gun to becoming licensed. The pixelated screen screams, help me, because we learn from what's on the screen. And if daddy's not around, then mommy screams. Daughter don't know how to handle an intense scene. Son is left confused, not knowing how to lead. And nothing will ever change because the whole squad no lead. So it's crazy that you asked that question, right? And then that whole poem right there.
That was dope.
In a nutshell, it really is the cause and effect. And also just being aware of, what you up against. You know what I'm saying? Really understanding that, even your mistakes, your errors, your faults have a cause and effect on, who around, you know what I'm saying, your children, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I think, one, we need to talk about it more.
Definitely,
I think men do need an outlet to where as though they can discuss their mental health issues, and not everybody know that they might even be suffering from a mental issue.
That's definitely facts. Yeah.
From not wanting to fight to becoming Tyson. That's something that means, like, at some point in time I wasn't able to control my anger, not wanting to fight to becoming Tyson. You know what I'm saying? From never wanting to bear a gun to becoming licensed. You know what I'm saying? All of those, like, even just growing up in the hood, I ain't never really had no beef with nobody to bear a gun. Like, they ain't, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
On my back, like, you know what I mean? I ain't got to worry about nobody coming up in my crib and none of that, because I don't have that kind of beef. But from never wanting to bear a gun to becoming licensed, that's the trauma that we grow up thinking, like, or seeing, like, yo, I need to protect myself. And sometimes, like, these Jones ain't enough. Like,
not at all.
Not now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely
back in the
not
day, we could rumble and get it in, and they'll talk that, I'm coming back. They ain't coming back. They coming back now.
Right, definitely.
They definitely spinning the block now.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And just understanding, man, that the time on this earth is just real priceless.
It is.
That's why I say what I say. Like, this time is priceless. I went from being hubby to being wifeless. Like, we be thinking. Well, let me say, I was thinking, like, just going on the right track, doing the right things.
Yeah.
It will prevent the mental health issues. You know what I'm saying? But just understanding that sometimes, life gonna take its turn, or you're gonna go through some things. You know what I'm saying? So just understand that like, time is priceless, and just attacking what makes you happy on earth. You know what I'm saying? And the flip side of that is, like I said, I'll go back to the effect that it has on you, it has on your peers, your family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We might not know that we're suffering from a depression or an illness, but it comes in many different forms.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we might think, like, somebody just ain't eating just because they, you know what I'm saying, they ain't hungry, but or they just really chilling in one spot. But no, they really depressed. You know what I'm saying? And you could just watch somebody's behavior change. If they was going to work on time, if they now they calling out or whatever. Certain things we just got to question our folks about, that we just let slide. Yo, what you doing? Nah, I called out of work again today. Oh, you called out again? Oh, you know what I mean? What's up? Turn up. No, sometimes, like, if it's becoming too excessive, we gotta question it, because it's just certain things that normal people do. And I'm not saying people that have any kind of mental illness are not normal people, but it's just things that normal people do that we don't have to question.
Right. It's usually like a routine, but if they off the routine, it's,
like why they doing
something
it or why
wrong.
they not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. That's what I think will be beneficial to have, like, you know, just good people around you. You know, to lessen the effect of what you're going through.
And that's good that you said that. And then the poem that you did, that one hit me. The one that you did, the one you just did just now, I remember that one from the one in January about, you were saying about, you know, you woke up wifeless, and it was just very, very deep. Yeah. And it's good that you said about having accountability.
All right, it's good you say that, because I got a new piece on accountability.
All right.
I'm sorry you watched me crack under pressure, and I thought being aggressive will impress you. But what I learned is, soft as a man speak, then so was his heart. And because I'm not soft, I could see why it's hard to love me. I mean, control me. I mean, hold me, like console me, not solely. I had to learn to hold myself accountable. And believe it or not, that was the hardest, easiest part. So when we talk about accountability, I think that's a good factor in, you know, just understanding your mental illness at hand. You know what I'm saying? And really just coming to terms with it. And understanding, you know, what you can do better just to be better as a person, and how you can be better as a person for people that's around you that may be going through the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. Because
we don't never know, bro. Like, we don't never know if we don't talk about it. It ain't too many resources out here for us to really talk about it and not be judged on what we actually going through. So, holding yourself accountable, man, is that's just growth in itself. You know
definitely.
What I mean? That's just coming to terms with what you got going on and facing it. You know what I'm saying? And not just facing it, but just truly executing on making change.
Yeah.
Sometimes we be so caught up in complaining about it. It might even feel good, but what we don't understand is that's a state of depression as well. Just being wrapped up and really feeling good about your problems, like that's a part of depression as well. So
definitely.
You know, we get so used to complaining that we don't know nothing. We don't know what else to talk about. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ever call somebody, or somebody ever call you and they got the same thing to talk about?
Hate that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
There's no solutions.
Like, what we doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where we going? You trying to work on something? Oh, no, you not? Oh, you working on something? Oh, no, you not? Yeah. Oh, you got to play for me then? Oh, no, you don't. It's like, at what point do, you know, we cut out the BS? You know what I'm saying? Because as we know, energy travel. So, you know. Yeah, man, you gotta watch who you talk to. Watch how you talking about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then, again, just holding yourself accountable.
No, that was good that you stated that, and how you had that in the piece, and the and that's the thing. It's just like you said, it's not really too many ways of us getting our pain out, getting the things that we go through, and as men, we're solution based. So we always want to try to find if there's a problem, we want to fix it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it comes with ourselves, our spouse, our homies, we don't want it to be where it's just, you just saying, oh, I'm going through this, I'm going through this, I'm going through this. Yeah. You just don't want to be the person that they just gonna call up to, say all their problems, unless you're gonna come with a solution.
Yeah, yo, you know what's crazy though is a lot of times, right? I was talking to Doc earlier. You know what's crazy is that sometimes we don't even know what we facing until we talk to somebody.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like some people don't know they're a victim until you tell your story to 4 or 5 other people. Like, yo, that's crazy. Yeah. Yo, that's wild. Yo, that shit happened to you. Dang. You be like, hold on, why everybody saying it's crazy? And I'm acting like it's normal. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this is a normal thing. You know what I mean? So sometimes we don't even know what we going through in order to really break that whatever it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good joint to talk to people, but what I was about to say, I never thought it would be like this. My heart heavy, sitting between these walls. She got mad at my destiny because she couldn't be as tall. So the only way to affect me is to become my downfall. I allowed it. I admit I was on some simp shit, thinking her head plus mine would get us further. And after I bust this nut, I could figure out where we missed it. Because we in the same room, but yet I feel so distant. We on the same team with different goals. She want love after the lies. I want hoes to fill their holes. She want to smile, so I buy her clothes. And the cycle goes. You know what I'm saying? And then we repeat that same cycle, just thinking like, yo, this is a good feeling. Or not even it's a good feeling, but yo, everybody go through this. That whole time we beating ourselves in. We don't even dig it. We damaging ourselves. We taking just a tad bit of our dignity and pushing it off to the side because in our reality we saying we don't care about ourselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we don't know.
We don't.
Until we talk to somebody.
Facts.
Or we might even realize it, right? And just still want to deal with it. That's where that poem come from. Good morning. What I say, good morning. I forgot how that joint started. I just said it though. I'm just smelled the
Don't rewind it back.
Yeah, but how did it go? In that poem, I'm saying like, yo, like, you know, like back up bought me smell of coffee. That mean like, yo, you really got it, right? So in that poem, I'm saying like, I've been smelled the coffee. No egg, scrambled, well done. Look at the mess I done started. It's like in that poem, I'm recognizing, right? Like I'm recognizing that I should have been handled my situation. Like, good morning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I forgot what else I said in that joint, but it's like in that poem, I'm really stating that I should have just been rectified whatever I was going through. Yeah. And the no egg scrambled well done is like, you know, just certain things that we expect. Like when we wake up in the morning, we want some eggs, right? But just if it's not there, it's not there. Yeah, right. So those are just metaphors. It's pancake mix all over the place. This is my life. You gotta listen. Like, this is my life. It's exhausting. So you ever seen a commercial or whatever, and or a TV show or a movie, or whatever, they put the pancake batter in the mix and it goes all over the place. They be looking crazy. This is a big mess now, right? So when I say stuff like this is my life, it's exhausting. Like, you gotta like really listen to the poetry. You know what I'm saying? All my resources are exhausted. Like it's crazy because I was beating people in the head about my issues, man, not even realizing how I was transferring like the energy to certain people. You know what I'm saying? This is my life. It's exhausting. All my resources are exhausted. You know what I'm saying? To the point where it's like I don't even want to.
Definitely happen.
Yeah, I don't even want to call my man all upbeat, and I'm like, I'm going through this, so I'm going through that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's part of that's part of exhausting my resources. You know what I'm saying? So man.
No, and it's good that you talked about that, about having people that you feel like you can reach out to, but you don't want to be a burden on them. Yeah. So, and that brings me to another topic. So when it comes to like males going through like any type of abuse, do you feel like maybe that's the reason why they don't feel like they want to reach out to their homies? They don't want to be ridiculed, or they just to be like, oh, it's going through that. Do you think that's like one of the main reasons of why they may not say nothing? Like you said earlier, they don't want to come out with saying things of that type of nature, or?
I think some people just think it's a normal thing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it could be the ridicule or not wanting to be judged. But I can't speak for everybody. I could just speak for me, and then hopefully, you know, what I say might help somebody or might connect with somebody. And they're like, oh, yo, that was me, or yo, like I feel what he's saying or whatever. But for me, it was really just me always trying to be private. It was just. You know, just being private, man, not wanting people to know, you know, what I was actually going through. And we could touch on that too, because we ain't really dive into that. But I'll tap on, you know, the mental, the verbal abuse that I experienced in relationships or whatever like that. But for me, I would just say it was just, you know, trying to handle everything on my own. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got tons of people, and I ain't gonna say tons, but I have people that, you know, look up to me, man. You know, that come to me for certain advice. You know what I'm saying? Like,
same here. Yeah.
You know, when you are held in just that caliber for people, it's like, yo, I don't want to let them know what I got going on because they hold me at such a high standard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like you be like, yo, like, you know, if your boss come to you and tell you like, yo, like, you know, everything is just messed up, man. I don't know. You know, the employee's gonna be like, well, damn, we still gonna have a job? They're
gonna question your leadership.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what's next? Like what? Like, you know what I mean? So it's almost like just trying to compose everything and just still be that strong individual for other people as well. So when somebody might not want to talk about their mental abuse or their mental illness, I wouldn't say. They probably just don't know how to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't know how to. You know what I mean? I didn't know where to start. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know where to start with from writing. It just came, and I was like, yo, this would be a good joint to just keep going off about my experiences about these things. So I just kept going with that. But certain people, they might not just know where to start from, bro. You know what I'm saying? My guy Frankie J, he over there in the corner, right? He put me on the gym. He said, hey Frankie, you remember what you said as far as being quiet for 40 seconds? You know what I'm saying? So you just sit in silence with somebody for a little bit and let somebody open up, and you'll see, you know, who this person is. You know what I'm saying? You'll get a glimpse of, you know, if this person experiencing something. You'll get a glimpse of, like, if this person's serious about what they say they want to do. Just sit with somebody for like 40 seconds in silence. If you really want to help somebody out and you feel like they're going through something, just sit with them in silence or something.
That is dope advice. Because knowing how to do so is the first step.
Yeah.
Like for me, I started to go through therapy probably middle of last year. So just having something where you could at least have that first step. So that's definitely good advice when you say to sit with somebody for 40 seconds, because you just don't know how they can open up to you or how they can start to open up to you.
Yeah. And, you know, that, and like you said, just that's the first step of just knowing how to do it. But it also, if you want to look for a term for that, we already went over accountability. The second thing I would have to say is, like, you know, understanding where you at. Understanding where you at. And y'all probably hear me talking about this guy a lot because he actually been on the phone with me numerous of times, and just walking me through certain stuff. So Frankie J's boy told me, he said, just be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we be super duper serious about what we going through, and we miss out on a whole lot too. Like I mentioned earlier, I said, you know, watching somebody lay in the same spot all day or whatever, that's a sign of depression. So they so stuck on what they're going through that they can't just be in the present. Moment, you know what I'm saying?
And that's
like,
the main thing too.
Yeah, you see somebody at a birthday party, but they're in the corner. You know what I'm saying? So another thing is really just being in the moment, being at peace. But I wrote this poem in my father's home, where the setting was very well put together, but my heart was torn. That's me being at peace with war that I was facing. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I say I wrote this poem in my father's home, that was the setting that I was in. I was already comfortable. I wrote this poem in my father's home, where the setting was very well put together, but my heart was torn. I said, you ever look for answers and find nothing, and then ask yourself what the whole journey was for? That's when you. That's really when you. That's really when you come to terms with your own problems. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we could be going through stuff, and it may not be nobody else's fault. Right. Maybe everything that we got going on with ourselves. When you start looking for answers, but you find nothing,
you're projecting it on someone else, but it's not yours. Yeah,
you can't find it. You can't find it nowhere else,
right?
Because it ain't nowhere else. But within you, you know what I'm saying. So when we are going through something, when we are suffering from anything, depression, mental illness, mental abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, we got to figure out where we are at in this problem and how to fix it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because everything that happened to somebody just can't be somebody else's fault, right?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to come to terms with a whole lot of things in order to really, one, be comfortable to talk about it, and two, and cure it and execute it and get rid of whatever it is, whether that's relationships, whether that's a material factor, you know what I'm saying? You know, certain things just hold certain energies. Maybe you gotta get rid of somebody's stuff, get rid of that car they let you have, they didn't board. You know what I'm saying? You still riding around in it knowing that they didn't got the car and they want it back. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever it is, you gotta just let it go and really be, and just be. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
That's one thing I would say I learned, and that's one thing I would say that helped me with my new collection of work.
That's good. I'm glad you said that, because, and that's crazy, because I was literally going to ask you, like, what type of advice would you give for men to do so? So when you said about the sin for the 40 seconds of silence, that It's a key part. And
another key point I would have for guys is that sometimes, right, and I look at just just my relationships that I had with people. We need to learn how to communicate love. You know what I'm saying?
That's
some guys may
definitely
communicate love with money. Some may communicate love with charm. Some may communicate love with affection and doing things, you know, being romantic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we just communicate love differently. But I will say to men that love shouldn't be your fight
at all.
And that goes for anybody when we talk about relationships. It could be a relationship with your father. That relationship shouldn't be no fight.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? It could be a relationship with a homie. That relationship shouldn't be no fight. And guys, I'm gonna just say, as being a male, what I've encountered a lot is, okay, well, if this relationship is putting me through all of this, then it gotta mean something, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, that's truly not it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when we find ourselves in the dark place, when we find ourselves just thinking, you know, why are we going through what we're going through? Look at the love around you. Look at the fight
That's
you're
facts.
putting up. Are you putting up a fight? You know what I'm saying? And what are you fighting with? Who you fighting with? And, you know, just get rid of them. Because people know what they be doing.
That's facts.
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
you
Even
definitely
if you
got to get rid of
even
the
if you just call somebody, right? It might not even be a person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Life happens to everybody, right? So just even if it's a job, like, get rid of that job. You'll find another job. It might sound crazy to say. Yeah, you got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
You got to get rid of it. I always used to be like, I hear a comedian or whatever. You hear a lot of people say, man, F those kids, right? You like, oh, no, not the babies. But no, if it's your babies, you might have say F the babies. No, I'm serious,
it's true, though.
bro,
No,
because that's how serious your mental health is.
Facts,
you know what I'm saying?
Seriously.
Half of these people that we service with the Family First Project, we make the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, bro. Half of them people are suffering from mental illness. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to protect your mental space
and your peace.
You know what I'm saying? And whatever causes turmoil in that, you gotta get rid of it, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? I say it in a joking way when I say F those kids, but that's really a thing. No matter what it is, it has to get eliminated.
You gotta put yourself first. I mean, that's definitely dope. And so I'm glad that you said the things about what certain things that men go through and how they can get through. And I'm glad that you gave that advice. And I'm glad because if you look at like the comments that I get when it comes to men, they always talk about their life experiences. And that's the type of platform that I wanted to have, where you can have those type of experiences and be vulnerable. Like if you see my comments, you talk about people that went through divorce and how they had to get back. And it's very good that you broke those things down. And I'm glad that you came today and gave that out and gave that type of advice and how men can get through it and how you have an outlet to do it. And that is so dope. And that hopefully whoever that sees this can say, you know, I don't have to, you know, hold this in. I can go to a homie. I can go to therapy. I can do something, take the first step, have the vulnerability to know I'm going through these things. I know I'm going through these things. I'm not just going to cope with it with, you know, alcohol, drinking, all types of bad behaviors. Take the first step, have the vulnerability, then find the outlet to do so. So I'm glad you was here. My guy, I appreciate you. So you already know you gotta hit us with one good poem. You've been hitting it with us all night. So
I got something.
Definitely, you know, give us something from the new collection. I already know you got something. Man.
Yeah, I got something crazy for y'all. But before I go into this piece, though, this piece that I'm about to do right here, it actually piggyback over what you was just talking about. It's just really having an outlet. You know what I'm saying? I realized that social media is an outlet for people. I read like certain status people put up, and I say to myself like, yo, you could tell, when a person has somebody to talk to and when they don't. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Facts. So social media is an outlet for people, and this particularly what this poem is about, really just I guess using it as a way to still reach people and make sure that they cool in a sense. Because you look at my post, it's just strictly motivational. You might come across one or two crazy joints, right? But overall,
gotta keep them entertained. It's all good.
Overall, it's strictly motivational, right? So, this piece, before I start, I must say, I'm not who I post. With chasing my dreams and doing shows, I got lost. All I knew was goals. I didn't care if the shoes had a soul. All I knew was go. I didn't care if the poem had a rhythm. All I knew was flow. I didn't care if the weed stained my teeth. All I knew was blow. And I used to drink till my livers bleed, trying to drown the pain that I never took heed. What'd I say? Trying to drown the pain that I never took heed. Allow my mental to be penetrated with no lube like an escort on the street. I was in too deep. Losing self-dignity, becoming the black sheep. Cutting off everyone that loved me with the hopes that she'll see I am who I'm supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And with that whole poem, I'm really just talking about posting on social media. You know what I'm saying? And my spouse would tell me, "Oh, that's not who you is." You know, because we would argue. You know, we would argue and fight. "Oh, it's not who you supposed to be. You talk all this motivational stuff, and you don't." No, I really am this person. I really am this motivational, inspirational person that I want to inspire other people. I want other people to be open and honest about what they got going on and going through. You know what I'm saying? I want to see everybody win. You know what I mean? Anybody that knows me know that, you know, they can come to me for help. And if I can help, guess who's gonna help? Troy gonna help if he can. You know what I'm saying? So all my posts is really geared towards just uplifting people.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? And I use that as an outlet to cope with my situation. So, yeah, man, people just got to find outlets, man. And social media is one of them, but sometimes we abuse it, sometimes we don't. But that's a good way to do it sometimes. Because even when somebody might comment, you know, they might post their story and somebody might comment or something. They might feel good once they coming out and talking about it. They probably go to somebody else. But sometimes it's abuse, sometimes it's not. So I use it. It's a good joint for me, man. Thanks for having me on this joint. I hope we touched on everything. If not, we could run it back. But yeah, though, man, this is a dope segment, dope joint for having me on. Appreciate you, bro.
No, I appreciate you.
Shout out to everybody that came out too, man. They always
definitely
show me love, man.
You got the crew in the building, and it's dope because they was here back to get joined in January.
Everybody, that was here. Everybody that's here was at the joint in January.
That's good.
It's a little concert.
Right, definitely. No, it's good, man. And tell them where they can, you know, the next things you got coming up. Social medias, let them know, man, because they definitely got it, you know, tap in.
Yeah, we got a lot we working on. I always like to do my things in segments. Like you'll see me, so you'll see me do the poetry and chat, and like I did the Underground 1, 2, and 3. So this is our third poetry and chat we doing this spring. We working on that production. It's coming up. Again, I'm doing that with four female poets. We looking for 2 more female poets. They got to be super duper hot, super duper talented, and you know they got to come with that heat. So we're looking for 2 more female poets. We're doing the Clean Up School tour.
Where can they contact you if they want to?
It's gonna be on one joint, though. It's gonna be all on one joint. What you mean?
You say you're looking for the 2 female poets.
Oh yeah, they can go to the PF Brand page.
Okay,
Mr. PF Brand, DM me, whatever.
All right.
Yeah, but anything that I mentioned, they can just really DM me on Mr. PF Brand, and if they go to my PF Brand profile, they can see all the links in my program and stuff that I got going on. But we about to do the school cleanup tour where we go around the schools and we just clean it up. Schools that we feel that need to be cleaned because, you know, when you leave your house every day and you got shabby bushes, that's to me, that'll do something to my day. So, when the kids go to school, we want the kids to feel safe. We want the kids to feel like, they want to walk into that school and they, it don't mess with their mindset as far as like wanting to learn. You know what I mean? So We got the school cleanup tour. We got the peanut butter and jelly project coming up.
Okay.
Probably April, May. We're gonna be doing the peanut butter and jelly project. Last year we did it. We fed about 150 people. The year before that, we pulled the same numbers, probably like 100 to 150 people.
That's dope.
We just
That's
walked
a good
around.
turnout.
Yeah, and passed out peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to the less fortunate. That's coming, like I said, April, May. And then with Poetically Free, man, we got the new collection of work coming that it's gonna be fire. So yeah,
I heard some of them pieces in January.
Yeah.
Definitely got some fire out there, man.
Yeah.
You heard a couple of them tonight, and it's very dope. And so I'm glad that you gave that to the people.
Yeah, and again, y'all can follow me on Mr.PF brand. I have other services, landscaping, junk removal. Man, just go to the link, go to the bio. It's probably really nothing that I don't do, but it's kind of crazy that I truly enjoy doing everything that I mentioned. It's like none of this is work to me.
That's dope, and that's good that you make it to where it's not a job; it's actually something that you actually want to do, and you're getting paid for it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely thank you for that, and just know, man, this is episode 3.
Yeah,
Upgrade Your Game podcast.
Let's go.
Brought my guy in here, Mr. PF Brand. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. You already know it's your boy J.K.
Let's go.
Know that. I'm out.
PF.